Okay, so what we've been talking about all the way through then is trying to keep your energy balance. So keeping the amount of energy coming in, matching the amount of energy that's going out. And what this is trying to do is stay away from an energy deficiency. So an energy deficiency is when the amount of energy going out is more than what is coming in. And this is the relative energy deficiency in sport, or the red S. Some of you might have heard of it. You possibly haven't. Most people haven't come across it unless they've done a specific session around it. So in athletes, the main reasons that we come across this usually are down to a decreased intake. So this decreased intake could be that you've not been feeling great. So maybe you've not been eating too much. Maybe you're really busy. So going between school or college or work and training, that you've just been not able to grab food. Maybe you've not been able to get breakfast in the morning before your training, or maybe you've increased your training. So you've increased the amount of energy that you're using. And this could be a planned increase to your training, or it could be something that you've not noticed. It could just be something that's crept up over time. So this is the main causes for this energy deficiency. And it can be a combination of the two. It could be a little bit of increased training and a little bit of decreased intake. And it's not something that we always are aware of. You know, these little changes can build up over time, and you're not necessarily going to notice them. But it can have quite an effect on both performance and health. So we need to be aware of it, and we need to keep an eye out for it. So what we have here then is the two wheels show you the effects that a relative energy deficiency can have on both your health and your training. So this was put together by the IOC. So they tend to know what they're talking about when it comes to sports and performance. So on the left-hand side, the wheel shows you the effects that this energy deficiency can have on your health. So we're looking at things like growth and development. So especially for our junior athletes who are already in a really high energy demand period where they're growing regularly, growing much more than I am anyway. And if they don't have the energy coming in that they need, their growth and development will suffer, because it will be prioritized by their training, because that's something that they're doing right now. It can have psychological effects. So this can be things like mood swings. It can have effects on cardiovascular health, your immune system, metabolic health, and in females as well, it can have effects on menstrual function. It can also affect bone health, which again is particularly important for our junior athletes, because your maximum bone density is achieved by the time you hit your mid-20s. So once you've passed your mid-20s, your bone mineral density is the most it will ever be. And once you hit 30, it will start to decline every year by 1 to 2%. So even if you bring in really brilliant nutritional practices when you're 35, you're limited to what you can do to your bone health. It's already predetermined from your mid-20s. And that's for males and females. And that can have lasting effects into your 60s and 70s in terms of fractures and frailty. So these are the health effects that a negative energy balance can have. Female athletes, we have the luxury of an early warning signal, and that is your menstrual function. So if you notice any changes to your menstrual function, whatever is normal for you, because we're all different, everybody's going to be different, then this could be a trigger for a negative energy balance. So for any female athletes that are listening today, or any that you deal with, I would encourage them to either use a calendar and a pen or an app to track their menstrual function. Because if they notice a